gave him the ability to play better again. And we're actually getting live. Sorry to cut you off there, Memento. But here we are, Cooler and Rapha, best of 5 grand final for the Sunday Cup, the 7th of the full season, before the weekend before DreamHack Winter. It's on Aerialwalk here, and
wow.
I'm pretty sure that...
You have taken.
Do we have Aerialwalk in the map pool? I think this is...
There was a discussion about this because I think Rapha removed silence. And
right.
And they said no, the map pool here, it's gonna have this one.
Alright, okay, well, alright then, they can do whatever they want. It's Cooler and it's Rapha, so they are up on Aerialwalk, and of course Aerialwalk will be there at DreamHack, so
yeah,
that's going to give us even a better preview of what it will look like at DreamHack. And almost a minute in now, and we're already up with 1 frag for Rapha as he's throwing those grenades down the stairs and makes a jump across here. But the pressure is there for Cooler as Rapha tries to go for a drop down. Cooler is still just harassing him just incessantly from below, but finally he does give it a rest for a moment for Rapha to reposition over center map. Now Rapha's not very strong. 1 rail will really hurt his chances on Mega, so he's repositioning to limit that opportunity. Now Rapha's going to go for the drop, and Cooler's going to read it very well. Good damage from Cooler, shutting Rapha out of this Mega health. Look at that beautiful play there from the Russian. Rapha's going to have to move back onto the red, but he can't because Cooler's in the way. Cooler just moved Rapha straight off of that Mega, straight off of the red, and now firmly he is in control.
Wow. I mean, the dodging he had on the stairs, like it was a situation where anybody else would have died immediately. But he was like doing this weird dodging, and he still managed to get to the Mega platform and eventually bully away Rapha. That was incredible. And also the other thing I noticed is the constant output of damage that Cooler did on Rapha. Even when Rapha was more dominant, he was always pushing, make sure that Rapha never has enough stock to really bully him away. And well, now it's probably the first moment in the match after 2 minutes where Rapha has like a large stack, and the question is how much, how is gonna utilize this.
And Rapha is actually controlling the map quite well. And Cooler's going to go for an aggression. That is such a key play. Look at all the damage Cooler did. He really needed to find that big damage, and he sacrificed his life for it, and it was more than worth it. The only problem is his spawn afterwards is quite terrible. So he's going to not be able to really get a follow-up to keep the pressure up, but that was such a worthwhile risk, such a worthwhile investment from Cooler. But Rapha looks like he's close to getting another red, more frags, but Rapha's missing, I think that's 4 in a row there.
Yeah, this is the opportunity that Cooler needed to basically stay alive. But still, if you look at it from the point of view of the stacks, it's still Rapha is super dominant at the moment, and Cooler is just evading. The nice thing is how Rapha is pushing Cooler away from the item all the time. So even if it's not, wow, nice, very nice steal there, but he's probably gonna die here.
But look at what he's done though. He's got 52 health on Rapha, so he's forged himself a very large opportunity to get pressure on this red and even potentially a frag, but no, Rapha will get a free red, no pressure at all from Cooler. Perhaps decided to back off for this yellow armor. He maybe even didn't know the timing of it, so that really threw off the idea of what play he should make. And now Rapha is above him, going to go for the drop, back through the telly, going to go for the next one as well, onto this Mega, above Mega positioning. Very, very small map. As Aerialwalk, of course, he can get around so quickly with those teleporters. And Cooler there is going to be throwing out that LG into the face of Rapha. So Rapha, with another red pickup, and the next Mega going, or the Mega pass just going to Cooler, is going to give Cooler somewhat of an opportunity, but I don't know where exactly he's going to find it to actually get back control.
Yeah, I mean, this is all about who's outputting more damage, and Rapha is already doing a better job. If you look at the situation, there is a bit of time before the next Mega, and with this damage, this constant damage that Rapha is doing, yeah, what I would expect is that Rapha is just gonna storm in. Good raids from Cooler. He actually was very close to kill his opponent, but in the end, it's Rapha who takes the Mega, and Rapha will probably is going to take the frag.
Indeed, 4-0 the score on that Aerialwalk scoreboard here, and Rapha is got his feet planted on that red armor, picked that nice shiny red armor up, and now he's going to try to close that distance on to Cooler. Does catch the frag, and now if he gets this insane cycle, red, yellow, Mega, that is going to be really bad for Cooler, because Cooler, if he can't deal with that, then Rapha could just close the game out. This is what Aerialwalk's about. If you get that cycle, and you get it strong, it is almost impossible to break against a good player. So Cooler is going to have to hit like incredible shots. He's done some good free damage right there, and Rapha's a bit low, but again, you know, it's kind of redundant. He's going to pick up that red. Mega's not super far away, but oh, direct grenade, that's like absolutely what Cooler needed. 33 health for Rapha. Cooler's got to keep going aggressive. He's going to lose frags for it, but he has to get the kills.
Look at the armor pickup. It's just really, Rapha is being a Pac-Man at the moment. He just pick up almost everything in the map. Finally, Cooler manages to pick a green, but still, it's not enough. And now he has time to go for Mega. Wow, okay. Cooler survives, but no return damage from him. So in a sense, it was like just postponing a bit, maybe the rush of Rapha. But the problem, I think, for Cooler is that recently his damage output onto Rapha has not been enough, and like it was lower than the input from the armors and everything. And you know,
I think there were some good spots for which he had, but then he would get that great damage in a fight, but then he would spawn at grenades and only have a grenade launcher. Like if there was like a shotgun that spawned at the grenades instead or something, it would almost seem like he would be able to have used it, but the spawn really seemed to hurt him like 2 or 3 times, I think.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, I've seen many times Rapha having like the item just ready for him. You know, damage and then item. So I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of changing a bit the pace. At the moment, the stack of Rapha is not so high, so actually a rail or 2 would completely change the situation. But immediately Rapha switches to a more slow type of game.
Nice steal there from Cooler, and even connects with Rocket, but the damage from Rapha is somewhat insane as he finishes off with a close-range rocket. Will pick up the red as well. So things are most certainly looking very grim for the Russian favourite. However, it's just map number 1 in a best of 5, and it is Airwalk. It can go like this. The problem for Cooler is that there is another map similar to this, and that's Toxicity. It can go very pear-shaped very quickly, and Rapha is really good at abusing people on Toxicity too. So I guess these are going to be 2 big weaknesses for Cooler at DreamHack as well.
Well, I'm surprised by how one-sided this map is, but as you said, it's just the first map, and it's Airwalk, so it can happen that, you know, maybe a couple of unlucky situations where Cooler could have, you know, it could have won the battle and maybe turned the game. It didn't happen, and now we are looking at almost at 20-0. I think the game it's closer than what it looks in terms of the score. Yeah, you were mentioning a lot of situations where Cooler did very well and just was missing a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit
I just have the feeling over time it went to Rapha being more and more dominant. This situation here could be nice. Rapha has this Mega to go back to. Wow, beautiful railing there. Yeah, I guess it's just all about the next maps at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if both players are actually thinking of the next maps, and they're just killing a bit the clock.
It's going to be, I think, one of the most interesting maps between these 2. It's going to be the Cures, the Sinisters, the Lost Worlds, the Blood Runs, and that kind of stuff is going to be really, even Silence will be really interesting with these players, like really anything. It's just this one and Toxicity, I think, that can just really blow up for I think much more Cooler than Rapha, because Rapha's just so solid at understanding those maps, and it's rare that you see. I don't know if I've ever seen a Toxicity or a blow up for Rapha. I've seen it happen to everyone else. They've had it, you know, that map blown up for them, but I've never seen Rapha be on the receiving end of the punishments in Toxicity, or at least it's very rare amongst the top players in the top circuit.
Yeah, I have the feeling he's a very good understanding of how to use aggression in Toxicity and when to sacrifice frags for the greater good. He's really on fire. I mean, the stats are quite low, I guess, just because they're spamming a lot, but you can really see the confidence in which these 2 players are aiming, especially Rapha. I mean, it looks.
Yeah, it's really important as well for someone like Rapha to have that part of his game under control, because he knows that he can make the right decisions, but if his other half, you know, the execution side isn't really cooperating, it can be really a struggle to deal with. You can make it work, but it's just it just makes it a lot harder, a lot more laboured. And you can see that with this kind of form, I mean, this is the other thing about this as well, is that he's thinking about, let's say, when he goes into a tournament in, let's say, less than a week, he's already thinking about that. He's already thinking, I'm the champion, I'm winning, and he's getting himself hyped up in that shape, in that mental kind of situation where he can win against really, really good players. And I think you said before, I think a long time ago, about how important it is to having that belief in yourself when you're in these situations, because this, like, the whole point of playing these really good players is they're going to put you in these really difficult positions. And sometimes what you're only left with just some self-belief, because these guys are so good, sometimes they will be able to play it perfectly and there's nothing you can do. And you kind of have to hold your hands up and be like, okay, that's just how it is. And just take it as it comes. And I think he's so good at doing stuff like that. It doesn't really affect him.
So how much do you think the two players here are eager to win this matchup versus just test the opponent and see how they are playing? Like, would you give away all your cards in a match prior to the DreamHack?
I think it's an interesting question. I feel like for Kula, he's just got this kind of steely, cold demeanor about him that almost like he just doesn't care. That, you know, that to him, I actually think it's the same for both players. They're both just playing a tournament. You know, they played tournament finals, both these guys, like tens and hundreds of times before. I think they're both just playing for the sake of playing. I don't think this means anything to either player. I think this is just pure practice for these guys. I don't think they're going to care about the result. Or I don't think they're going to care about giving anything away about their game either. I feel like they just want to get that, as you said before, you know, that tournament experience in before what is going to be the biggest tournament of the year for Quake Live.
Fight.
And it looks like they are actually going to start here. So this is the second map of this best of 5 grand final between Kula and Rapha. Blood Run. So here we go. Would you like to take it away, in fact, Memento?
Yeah, so I'm following Rapha. Hopefully you're following as well. Who got pretty decent spawn at the top, and look at the damage the Cooler immediately outputs, and now he has a Mega to go back to. Very interesting. I mean, very good start for Cooler, I would say. Definitely Rapha on the back foot. Interesting decision there from Cooler. I mean, he decided to back off after the rail didn't hit, and this gave Rapha the opportunity to steal the red. Nonetheless, I still call Cooler as being the man in control. He probably wants to position himself center map and see where Rapha is. I mean, the two major items are quite close to each other. Very beautiful grenade. This is and the return from Rapha. I was thinking that would change probably the chances of seeing a battle for the Mega, but we see here another steal from the red. So Rapha playing the red quite heavily at the moment, which paid off because now he has kind of all the armor he can dream of. I would say it's sort of a slow start with probably a Cooler that was dominant at the beginning, and then with a bit of action, Rapha manages to cancel out that advantage.
Looks like Rapha's trying to defend this, but actually, because he's going to drop for the Mega, that is quite a risk, but somehow he survives. I think he was planning to catch Rapha, like going for the teleporter so they could just swap items, so, which is a very interesting risk there, but does catch Rapha with a bit of lightning gun as he jumps over that yellow rocket area. And I think I'm just going to switch over to Cooler right now, and you can see the Cooler, you know, he didn't lose a frag there, which is, you know, the most important thing, because Blood Run is all about just not giving away a frag. But at the same time, he lost a lot of stack there. And there goes Rapha, and Cooler, he's got a rocket jump out. He's got to get out of this situation, surely. Rapha knows, he must know that he can go in here. And there's the Mega. Actually, Cooler forces Rapha back.
Wow.
Are you not surprised? I'm very surprised about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a situation where one good rocket could have killed Rapha, I think. So he decided to back off and say, well, I'm not going to take that chance. I want to still be in control. And look at the...
Wow, Cooler with that rail. Impressive stuff. The confidence from this man it never ceases to amaze me. Some of the fearlessness he displays in his Quake. And that was just...
I mean, he had incredible. 15 health or something like that, and I was about to say, look at how good it was the choice of Rapha to delay the fight, because now he's taking the frag, but then, yeah.
But then Cooler
happened.
Exactly, and Kula going to catch Rapha with some more lightning, but he's not actually able to string a good connection, series of connections there. Going to go back there and does catch Rapha, and there is the frag. Rapha had the rail out, and that shot cost him a frag. So Kula is actually looking really, really good here, and Rapha having a great first match on Aerial. It's all about Kula right now, but he's not stacked at all. This is very, very contested, this control at the moment. Rapha just merely has to get a yellow and a red, but Kula's there. He's got his presence over at red now, so Kula's looking good to really take strong control there. If Rapha can get a good rocket there before Kula does damage, then that's going to be really important. And oh, Kula runs out of rockets, and oh, but he hits the clutch rail there as Rapha jumps across. Rapha, if he had picked up that red, it would have evened out the situation massively, but Kula with these clutch shots is making it happen, and that is going to be the mega surely his in the next 10 seconds. But first he's going to go for a bit of an interception over at this yellow. Rapha knows that that would be a likely player. Kula is not in sight, and now Kula drops for this mega. Look at the perfect timing right there from Kula.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just beautiful how he's moving around the map with the perfect timing. I want to see whether Rapha jumps and look at the damage. Yeah, that was a risky move. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to see Cooler that strong at the moment, and it's really clear that the previous map didn't affect his mental state.
It would be amazing to see if he was able to topple Rapha in this grand final, because oh, and he's actually going to catch Rapha. Beautiful ambush there from Kula. Rapha did not expect that, and it's almost a free kill for Kula, who then picks up the mega health as well. The red is up on the spot. There's no chance for Rapha to pick that one up. Kula just taking pot shots there with a railgun, but that red is so his. And 5-0, not even 5 minutes in, barely so.
Yeah, and now it's gonna still even this one. So he just took all the armor on the map.
Oh my god, he's like reading Rapha very well here on Blood Run.
Yeah. Now he has time. He can take the red and then position himself for mega. This is, oh man, this is really Cooler, just shining with map control.
Cooler is such a beast. Seriously, I love that his shape looks so good, and he knows the exact order of the armors. Rapha's so much in trouble. He's only got shards to work with. 25 at the little curve, or maybe the 15 there below. But look at Rapha going to take this engagement, even though he deals way more damage than Cooler. Here's the red armor. Here's a yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't count. And Cooler could just continue this complete control. He's gonna take this yellow. Now probably he's gonna be late for the other one, so Rapha was able to take it. But still, it's like, yeah, okay.
Wow,
I guess Rapha agrees.
That was really special there from Cooler. I think that's one of those demos where you can look back at it and be like, this was a perfect blood run from some of the points there that Cooler played it, because wow, I mean,
the only mistake I would say was probably the dropping to Mega at a certain point.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter in the end. It was, just incredible performance.
It was really, really impressive. Again, like you said, there's only really that one major mistake, and for Rapha, all he had to do was make 2 errors, really, or like, you know, minor errors like misreads, or basically you could even say that they were coin flips, or something that you could say is you know, do I go for this yellow or the other yellow? Do I go this way or the other way? And they can kind of vary up. And just by guessing wrong, Cooler catches him and he dies. And then Cooler gets even stronger control. And then it got to the point where Cooler was able to run everything. And that's not easy against someone like Rapha. So Cooler definitely quite impressive. And that means we go to a 1-1 scoreline between these two titans of the game. These two impressive figures, both with their own massive legacies behind them. It's quite special. And now we go to Sinister. We saw really, really awesome Sinister game before with Kilson and Cooler. Can Cooler do it against Rapha though?
Yeah. I'm very curious to see this now, because we know Cooler can be super strong here. I just want to see how Rapha deals with that. Also because I don't know how much we've seen in terms of Rapha in this map. Yeah, I'm just curious to see that. I guess this is the first really official appearance of this map for a big tournament, and Rapha didn't really. We haven't seen much of Rapha.
But here we go. We're going to see him right now. We're getting live into the game. Sinister, map number 3. Both players, Cooler and Rapha, tied at 1 apiece in this best of 5 grand final for the 7th Sunday Cup of the full season. The last one before DreamHack is so close now. Thursday is when it starts, when it kicks off. And it's Rapha to begin with, who will pick up that lightning gun, who will have that mega. So Rapha in good shape here, but he has every weapon as well, and he misses a pretty easy rail on Kula there. And that's going to be pretty annoying because it's going to hurt his chances at this red. You can see he's just throwing over those rockets to try to hurt Kula, should Kula go in that direction after taking the red, but he had no challenge to speak of for that red. So it's going to be about this mega now, all about this mega.
Yeah, Rapha is too late, I think. Yeah. Well, it still managed to arrive and do a bit of damage, but the fact that he dropped for yellow cost him a few seconds. He could have used that to get a better position and potentially do a bit more damage. And again, he's not looking for challenging at red, but rather doing damage, which didn't happen because Cooler decided to go in the other direction. And here they meet now in the corridor. Look at the amount of damage. Wow.
Wow, Rapha craters. That was quite ridiculous. I mean, it felt like Kula had a great engagement there, the good drop on Rapha. However, they both planted such amazing rockets that it ended up quite even, but Kula's going to get the better of it. But this LG is so damaging. Kula has to hit the rail. He does. Beautiful there from Kula and also from Rapha, taking what he can right now, and it's very important that he does so. And I really wonder what kind of shape Kula's going to be in going to this next mega. He just picked up the yellow. So Kula.
Yeah, it's gonna be sort of even. I mean, in terms of the stacks, so now it depends. Oh, wow, nice, nice little rail there. It just depends what kind of fight they want to pick, because there is time for Rapha to go uncontested to the mega, and he decides to do so. So eventually, it's just Cooler on the run. I think for at least half a minute here.
And that's what that one rail was about as well. It was about a free pickup of both of the mega. And that's what he got after he hit it. Had he not hit that, Kula may have felt like it would have been like a viable challenge with defensive positioning to go for.
Yeah, at the moment the stack was almost even. So, and there was like that second before the major item. So, yeah, that rail did really change the situation.
And there goes Kula out the teleporter with that engagement, but he's finding himself in a spot of bother, but Rapha going to drop onto him after taking the frag. And I was just about to say that Kula's very good at disappearing when he knows that he can't have a fight anywhere close to his terms. He's very good at trying to wait for the right moment, but he couldn't wait it out any longer. Rapha does tie it up, and there's a good defensive rocket from Kula, but he's got to be careful not to get caught here. Rapha's coming around the corner with the lightning gun, does gun down Kula, and 1-0 now. Kula is without the lead all of a sudden, and Rapha is with much control as he does connect another rail, and he might like to fight after that one. Kula trying to defend, but he can't. That rail really making the difference once again. Rapha coming into some really nice form on this Sinister game.
Yeah, and this aggression off spawn, I mean, not the lowest one, but the previous one, it's sort of questionable. I don't know what you take about that, because, yeah, it's probably a bit of a redundant damage. Nice, very nice that Cooler teleported there, gave him the positional advantage. This is probably now the big push that he needed, but still, the amount of armor he has, whoa, teleporting here is really bold.
And yeah, again, the red is up, so it's almost as if nothing happened there. Again, redundant damage dealt by Kula, as Rapha's basically in a great spot once again, and Kula's without options once again. So now here goes Rapha with a good rocket out of the teleporter. Kula goes, and up, oh, not up the jump pad, but he will fall down once again. Rapha picking up another frag. Almost seems like that Kula can do nothing right here on Sinister. And he's going to go through this teleporter, firing those rockets. Those are pretty strong, but again, just doesn't have the stacking. Do you feel like he's giving frags away at this point, or what is going on here with Kula?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to be aggressive, but I don't see what the long-term plan is. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he would rather spend a bit more time just stacking up. Like, what's the point now of rushing with 50 points of armor? Maybe the point was to take the thread, I'm not sure.
2 hits.
It's also difficult to read the mind of Cooler, in a sense.
It most certainly is. The unique mind of Kula. 6-0 for Rapha. We're just about to hit halfway, and it is going to be, well, right now it's 1 apiece on the map score. This is the third map being played by these two in this grand final. for the FACEIT Sunday Cup. And Rapha is so stacked. He's trying to trawl through the map right now to see if he can find himself Cooler. There he is, revealed over at the Mega. And oh, that rocket was so perfect from Rapha, bouncing Cooler completely away from the Mega. I think Cooler's plan there was to basically force a fight and take the Mega mid-fight. I think that was his idea there, but that first rocket of Rapha just completely destroyed that plan. And here comes Cooler up the stairs with the lightning gun, and again, the damage is meaningless, and Rapha's just going to get another free frag. And we're past the 5-minute mark, 8 frags for Rapha, nothing for Cooler. So, seems as if so far we've seen the only game that wasn't so one-sided was, I think, maybe Tilson versus Etty. That wasn't as one-sided, I think.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see this again. Think of the match in this map between Cooler and Kitson, and now we are seeing this. So yeah, it's really strange. Let's put it this way.
So Rapha is going to be feeling quite nice about this after that defeat on Blood Run, which was very convincing, and I do definitely recommend for anyone who missed it, who was interested in learning Quake Duel, to check out Cooler's demo against Rapha on Blood Run. That was quite impressive. I think it's quite clear what he was doing as well. I think that's kind of the beauty of it, was in its simplicity. It was just how he perfectly read it and pulled it off.
It really looked like a chess mate, because, you know, you could look at it, it wasn't complicated to understand what he was doing, but it would have been impossible to say what Rapha should have done. So in that sense, it was like the perfect play. But if we go back to this map, I have to say it's like, I don't know, it's hard for me to see a plan in terms of what Cooler is doing. I have the feeling that the pace of the map has been a bit too high. And, you know, it costed many frags, and now in 3 minutes, 10 frags, that's probably not possible. So I would say that probably from now on, they're just gonna, think of the next map and just warm up a bit and do this kind of thing, and just make sure they bring the best to the next encounter.
Certainly. So what are your thoughts about Sinister, of course? I mean, Cure seems to be a map that is widely accepted and widely regarded as a great map at this point, but what do you think about Sinister now that you've seen so many games here?
I think I like the shape of it. I like the item placement. I'm not sure about the spawns. Like, there are a couple of situations. I know that they fixed a lot of things in terms of the spawns. To me, it's more like about the people need to learn how to play it. Like, there has to be, at a certain point, you know, you can adapt maps all the time, but at a certain point, it's the player who have to adapt a bit.
Yeah.
And so, in a sense, to me, it's good enough on a map. It's not, you know, you cannot say it's like, oh, what a weird choice to pick it. I think it's a good map with a lot of potential. It's just that maybe the players themselves need to learn. Like, I haven't seen a very dominant player yet. Sometimes you see very dominant performances, but like I said, I mean, Cooler looked unbeatable here, and now he's losing 14-0. So unless we're saying that Rapha is like a step above, it's more like probably there are some mistakes or some parts of the metagame in this map that are not being played enough, and so people sometimes do mistake that cost the full map and lead to this kind of score difference. So I think it's just good to have it in the tournament, and we're gonna see more and more in the future of it. And I have to say, in general, I like it. I like the match I'm seeing in this map, and I also like it when I play it. So I think this is all we can ask for on the map.
Do you think that the Quake maps aren't pretty enough, or do you think that it actually holds up?
I mean, is the question?
That's a really weird question.
Is this as good as the other ones?
Like, just talking about aesthetics and so on.
Well, I personally like it a lot. I mean, I really like the geometry and the path between the rooms, and you know, this connection between Mega and Red with tons of different paths. One thing is, maybe you could argue, it's difficult to do defensive play. but again, it's one of those things that, you know, it's true up to the point where somebody really finds out how to correctly read all the little cues. There are things like from where you can hear the opponent and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure that there is room for improvement in how people play.
I think that's very fair. We have, of course, now a very dominant performance from Kula, followed by a very dominant performance by Rapha. So it's 2-1 now to Rapha after those 3 maps, and we move forward. So I just hope for Kula's sake that there is no toxicity. I feel like that is the only place where Rapha could get a really big lead. And we're going to get Secure, which I think is a brilliant map choice, because I loved how Kula was playing it previously against Kilson. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Rapha does against Kula, and also, you know, just the dynamic that they both have together on this map. So this should be really, really good. The only other matchup of Cure that I'd really like to see is Cypher and Rapha. Because we didn't get to see that at QuakeCon, because Cypher wasn't able to make it there, and Cypher's kind of taken quite a liking to this map, it seems.
Okay, that's great to hear. Yeah. Now the question, I hope for like a close map, because like the last 3 were kind of one-sided. Yeah, but we have to see. I mean, it's all about who gets the initial control and how the other player replies.
And looks like the countdown has begun. This is map number 4 here, guys, for this best of 5 grand final. This is match point for Rapha here on Cure. Can Kula bring it back to a 5th and deciding map in this grand final? Well, let's find out. We're on Kula to begin with, as again he's made that adjustment for that spawn.
Yes.
And it almost feels like, oh, it's the like 3rd time I've played this map. Just had that spawn 3 times now, you know, making the adjustments as he goes. But it seems like he's got a very, very strong stack here. He's got all the weapons but the railgun. He's found himself in this situation before. He's waiting now, patiently above the red. Here goes. Where's Rapha? Rapha is nowhere to be seen. In fact, Rapha clearly didn't like his chances for that red. He probably felt like it would make a difference to take it.
Had to go to grab LG. And then he was out of position to fight really for the item. But look at the damage here. This is really incredible.
That's one of those, those decisions I think you make mid-fight, where you're like, I'm hitting so well, and I just forced him to change weapon, that this is now an efficient fight where maybe it wouldn't have been before. So that's a great play there from Rapha, and Kula's going to be feeling terrible there after that. And let's see if Rapha can keep this momentum going. He's going to pick up some, a shard there that Kula left for him. Very, very generous there. And he's going to make his way very slowly on the upper side of the map. He may have read that Kula does like to play this a little bit more slowly. And there's Kula kind of trapped there, but he's going to work his way out with the lightning gun. And great rocket from above. Look at that. Rapha gets pushed all the way back, but he does manage to get this red. But still the rockets come in from Kula. There's one more there, bit of splash damage onto Rapha. So as Rapha goes through the teleporter, picks up another green, he's going to soon be in good shape again. But there's Kula just up from nowhere, just bobbing up there. And looks like Rapha's put to quite low health here. Kula is doing so much. I have no idea what Kula's doing. He's doing very innovative stuff right here on Cure.
Oh my god. If Rapha just turned back and see Cooler jumping up from the bump pad, that would have been the end of it. But luckily for Cooler, Rapha was just going away. And beautiful first rocket, but the second one didn't connect, and Rapha gets another frag, right?
Yeah, it's a really smart move from Rapha, because what he did was he jumped backwards off of the floor, so he couldn't be splashed. So if Kula would have had to have gone for a direct rocket to hit him, even hit him with something else. So a really smart little decision there from Rapha in fight. And a great move here from Kula, and he gets Rapha screaming. He's got to know it. He pulls out the LG, he goes around the corner, he's looking for the fight, and he finds that kill. 27 points of health remaining on Kula with 2.5 minutes now, 2-1 for Rapha. So Kula going to be stacking up a bit. Mega risk fairly soon. Kula might be able to make a play for this. Rapha is going to be wanting for weapons here. That could be something Kula could exploit, but let's see if he does. That he's going to make his move here. Lets Rapha get onto it. He hits one rail. That could be good enough. Doesn't want to take any damage here. It's a bit of that. Oh no, he's going to find more damage. Had to hit that rail and does do so, but still, it's not a great situation here. Rapha does pick up the red, so now Rapha's in an advantage on the stack. 5 health left for Kula as he darts back to the greens here, and this yellow as well. But if he gets caught here, he's a dead man.
Yeah, it was very very unfortunate. Cooler stood ground a bit too much. He should have probably tried to hit just one rail at Mega and then go away and position to do damage for Red. He stayed a bit longer, took more damage, and then eventually was a situation where he didn't have enough to survive any kind of engagement, and so he had to back up. But nonetheless, I mean, you can see what the Hang was saying about a lot of armor being in this map. Cooler was immediately able to recover more than 100 now.
Oh, great rocket. But it made the difference. No, absolutely not even close. 100 health there for Rapha, but you're completely right there, and I really agree. Like, Cooler hit the first rail, but I mean, Cooler's going for a shotgun aggression. It's actually doing a lot of damage, but yeah, going back to that, he did hit the first rail, and I felt like at that point, as you said, if he just left, if he'd gone away, that would have been really nice. But he went for more. Agreed. All the hubris, perhaps.
But he stole the Mega now. And yeah, staying here is not really convenient. He has now this red, and I mean, suddenly things look much better for Cooler.
So can he catch Rapha out here, waiting on this yellow? I'm going to move on to Cooler now, as we see his perspective. He's the guy that needs to come back 3 frags to tie this game up. We're almost into the halfway point, and it is a match point for our American QuakeCon 2013 champion here, Rapha of SK Gaming. And Cooler is going to grab that next red armor as he makes his way to Mega. As it was just taken by Rapha. Rapha going to easily just get away there. And Cooler finds himself always a step behind right now. And he's going to grab that green up top, make his way back across. Can he find Rapha? He knows the road soon. Great rocket from Rapha there. Absolutely fantastic there. Gave him exactly the position of Cooler, and also kind of startled Cooler a bit. And now here goes Rapha to drop. Cooler will pick up that red armor, but he's spinning around, doesn't even know which weapon to use, and Rapha gets another frag on the board. And he comes closer and closer to winning this.
Poor aiming from Cooler. I guess he must have had some issue with the mouse or something like that, because it was really weird how he aimed.
And there you go, Rapha getting another frag. Cooler put to the pressure off the spawn. He does manage to find the frag, but he's quite low afterwards. But the red is there, so this is maybe the one true opportunity of Cooler. He may not get another opportunity like this. The Mega's up in 5, and it's not easily, something that's easily considered or taken. So there it is. He's looking for that rail angle on it. Will Rapha jump for it? And he needs that lightning gun as well. Rapha was counting on it though, and Rapha lets him go for it. And now Cooler has to try to work his way out there with his LG. But look at the damage he's sustaining, and he will go down. And that's going to be the Mega there for Rapha. And they're very smart of Rapha to kind of let Cooler take that, and then let his presence be known.
And it's also nice how he first went to red, and instead of taking Mega right away, knowing that Cooler had all the time to go there. This is now looking very grim for Cooler, because it's only 2 minutes and 3 minutes and a half left. He has to do 5 frags, which is not too much in terms of the frags, but if you look at how things are going, yeah, it's a sort of a hard call.
Oh yeah, for certain. But I mean, Cooler could make an explosive play. We know that he's really smart with the spawns on this map, but it can be hard to get multiple spawn frags here. So we'll see if Cooler can do it. Rapha is creeping mid-level. You can hear Cooler take the telly above him. Hits an easy rail there as Cooler's flying over to that Mega, takes the fight like it's nothing, and grabs another one in the bag. And Cooler's not going to be coming back with players like that. It's going to have to take something a lot more special from our Russian. If he's able to be able to do it, and there Rapha picks up more armor, hits more damage. Cooler's put to more fights that Rapha, you can see tactically it was going really well until he dropped to the LG there. So that's going to be a frag for Cooler, but can he get the red free of charge off of this? That's going to be really important. He needs free items.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing very well now. Rapha hits.
Nice.
Yeah, very, very good rocket there. I mean, it's 5 frags. It's possible. Let's put it that way.
Certainly so. I mean, he just has to get 1 frag, get a clean spawn frag, and then there's 3 frags all of a sudden, and he's got maybe a minute left. It could be very, very doable there, and that's a great defensive rocket from Rapha there to slow down Cooler. Cooler has to try to circumnavigate this map and just even find out what Rapha is at this point, because Rapha knows that killing the time here is an effective strategy, picking up armor slowly as he goes, making sure he's got that good defensive positioning as he goes, and Kula's going to be put to the test right now. 90 seconds left. There goes the rocket jump. Beautiful read from Kula there as he traps Rapha, but he can't quite get the finish, and the jump pad foils Kula's attempt to get the frag. Can he get another one though? Another attempt at this, and Rapha beautifully plays rocket there, and he's gone before Kula can even switch to the rail in time. And Kula just dropping into the water there. You can see the despair, that run across his face after that, as he took a moment to pause. And now it's just a minute left to gain 5 frags, and Kula is not looking very, very good for it. And Rapha, he's just managing to just stay out of the way.
Yeah, and really there is also, I mean, the sound in especially around the red area. It's kind of, you can hear a lot of angles, and so it's very difficult for a player to push and look at that. The damage output of Rapha, which is too high, and now he can collect this mega. I guess this was the ending frag in a sense for the series. What do you make of this final?
As you said, it's very interesting how the maps are all so one-sided apart from this one. Like, we had a very, very one-sided airwalk, but okay, it's airwalk. It can just blow up for one player. It's been known to happen quite frequently. We had Blood Run, which blew up in the face of Rapha. Kula just going insane, playing almost a perfect Blood Run at moments, shutting out Rapha. So, that became one-sided. And then we had, of course, what was the map after Blood Run? It was
Sinister.
Oh yes, of course, Sinister. And then that was really one-sided. So it's really, really interesting how all these maps were very one-sided. Of course, we don't want to see that at DreamHack, for the finals. But again, I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, that was your question to me. I don't really know what to say to that. It just seems like, I mean, the matches between these two can probably go many ways, and they can have really close games on pretty much any map. And I think that was just how, if you just throw, look at the RNG, for example, that's just kind of how it played out.
Yep.
What would you say about that?
I'd say congratulations to Rapha because he won the tournament. I have the feeling that still this is a phase where the players are a bit like poking with each other. They're testing the skills of the others. Of course, they want to win and they want to give their best. But it's hard for me to not seeing like a meaning that a connection with DreamHack coming in one week. So in here, maybe the fact that the maps were so one-sided were also like players were trying things that may have worked or may have not worked, and so they were taking some sort of risks that they would not take on LAN, and this may explain why some of the scores were so high. Overall, it was a very interesting series with probably 2 of the best players we can dream of having in a final. So I'm just very happy, and overall I would say the whole tournament today was just a blast. It was just so exciting. Lots of good matches.
Today was really, really nice, and of course, again, the next Quake tournament is going to be DreamHack. It's going to be DreamHack. This was the last big tournament here, and of course, the FACEIT crew will be over there. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm sure you'll be there, won't you? So that's going to be great as well. I can't wait to see you once again, and it's going to be, I'm so excited. I don't really have words for it. It's going to be awesome. So guys, again, congratulations to Rapha and Memento. Thanks so much for commentating with me. I think I've got to say, you always improve. Every time we have you on, you've always improving. I really enjoyed commentating with you, and I think you should keep doing it because you've been improving in leaps and bounds.
I think it's placebo.
Placebo effect?
My level is constant, but no, okay, yeah, thanks.
It was the cake. You need more cake.
Yeah, must be the cake. No, I really enjoyed it. It's really fun, and again, I mean, I might repeat myself every time I go to the FACEIT stream, but I really love what you guys are doing. I think it's great, and I'm looking forward for like the whole production at DreamHack. I'm looking forward for the tournament there, but I think for everybody, people staying at home and people coming, it's going to be a great event.
Great, and I mean that's a great place to leave this. So guys, that's it for today. Congrats to Rapha once more, and we'll see you at DreamHack Winter in Jönköping. So that's all from